Hi everyone, and it is that time again. Apple have decided to drop a new product on us. So let's discuss. Let's go through it. New iMacs, baby. So Apple have dropped the new 27-inch iMac, and you might be forgiven to not realise that it is new, unless you know, or if you notice the spec change. This pretty much looks identical to the past 7 years worth of iMac. Unfortunately for us and for everyone kind of waiting for a iPad Pro style iMac, like this clip here, with a computer inside it.
Redesigned iMac will be announced at the keynote. Now, the new iMac is expected to bring an iPad Pro design language with Pro Display-like bezels, which means expect to see thinner bezels, and you can imagine it kind of looking like a Pro Display on a Mac stand. That would just...
And obviously, we did not see that yesterday. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that. And obviously, they did announce that they will be using Apple Silicon, but didn't exactly give us a direct roadmap. So we don't know whether this is going to be an iMac for a year, or maybe if we're going to get a refresh in 6 months, which does beg the question, should you buy this iMac now? So there are a few things to note on this new iMac, and actually some of the things are quite impressive and are some nice improvements to the previous generation, which was only out last year. Finally, Apple have scrapped the 5,400 RPM HDD and Fusion Drive stuff. They've now just gone SSD, which honestly, I've been running SSD on my MacBook Pro since 2012. And to think that it is only now that Apple have decided to go with SSD in an iMac is a positive. We'll take it as a positive. But that only starts off at 256 gigs, which for the work that I think a lot of people are doing on iMacs does seem a little bit low. Throughout the range, we are now seeing the 10th generation Intel processors. And the one thing that Apple did say in their WWDC roadmap about Apple Silicon was that they will still be bringing out Intel products for the next 2 years. So it shouldn't be too much of a surprise to see that already we're seeing new Intel products. All of these as well come with 8 gigs of RAM as standard. Now, just as a rule of thumb, unless you have absolute money to burn, it has been seen on the design studio of the new iMac that you should still be able to replace the RAM in the machine. So please, for the good of God, what's the phrase? So with that in mind, I highly recommend to just get the standard RAM and to buy your own and replace it yourself, because the cost of Apple RAM is like twice as expensive as just buying it on Amazon or eBay or something like that. So please go with the base spec in RAM and go and buy more RAM somewhere else. So the price of these starts at, in the UK, £1,799, and I think it's pretty much the same in America, but just in dollars. You guys absolutely kill us for that conversion rate. But it does go up slightly for increased SSD space and a slightly, what are you paying for? So you can then go up to $1,999, and that will improve slightly the processor but double your storage space, which could be a good recommendation for an all-in-one computer. If you're not wanting to have external hard drives, buying the one with the extra storage space might actually be the best option. Where it gets slightly interesting is with the top of the range 2299 model, where it comes with an 8-core 10th gen i7 processor, so you're getting the most out of the processor, but it also comes with 8 gig video card. An 8 gig video card. Now, for that price, when you have a look at something like a MacBook Pro, which are more expensive, you're getting half the video capability. So if you are a photographer or a videographer, and you know, we're making a lot more and doing a lot more at home, this actually could be, because you're saving on the portability, the battery, and the kind of the display technology they put into the MacBook Pro, it could actually be a really good option if you're spending more time at home now. Now, one option that is available on all of these iMacs, and is one thing that a lot of people are quite excited about because it is from Apple's XDR display, is the nano texture glass. So this basically makes it a bit more matte, which, coming from an IPS display, I really do get. There is definitely kind of a glare to the standard 5K glass. So for anyone who works in direct sunlight, or if your office space has variable light, maybe this is a £500 option that might actually be worth it, especially if you're looking to keep this computer for 4 or 5 years. Overall, my thoughts on the iMac, well, I actually think I might order one for a review. So if you think that's a good idea, hit the like button, subscribe, trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, please. But I actually think this is quite a good all-round computer. Now, yes, the iMac is more expensive than just buying a PC and a display, but as an all-in-one, and yes, the design hasn't changed, which I think for a lot of people is slightly disappointing, but we might not see that for another year. I guess you have to think of SSD, improved video card performance, and that new glass technology. If those few things are worth it to you, then this might actually be the upgrade you've been waiting for. I've had a few people message me about iMacs and I've said hold off, and if you're getting by with the iMacs that you have, I'd maybe wait out for this redesign iMac. But if you are in the world of video, photography, and we've just had some new cameras released like the Sony A7S III and Canon R5, you're probably going to need some extra video performance, so it might actually be worth it. But if you want any more Apple news, Apple tech, Apple reviews, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hi everyone, and it is that time again. Apple have decided to drop a new product on us, and us poor creative YouTubers have to cobble something together. So this is it.